demonstration of my application that I'm working on called Nuclei. I've I attempted to upload a video to my um, YouTube channel, and apparently I didn't record sound, and it uploaded in really bad quality anyway. So I get to go through this with you again, which makes me very happy to know. So Nuclei is going to be a program that utilizes um, both a web application front end and a web app or as translated into a mobile app, and as well as using a Ruby on Rails backend. So right here we have our front end. We have our web app, which is using React and Redux as our front end, and for our mobile app, we're using React Native and Redux. That way, we don't have to do too much in the way of programming things in Swift or anything else like that. We can see we have both web browser app and the mobile application should be a seamless experience even when interacting with each other. Users should be able to do the following. They should be able to post and comment. They should be able to plus or minus on a comment and reply to comments as well. They should be able to make groups, and if they do that, they should moderate that group. And if they post, they should be able to cross post that post to multiple groups, so it doesn't just post to one group. And then we also are going to do something more of a dark mode, kind of just like a dark theme. That was the idea. And this should act as Nucleus did, one of my previous programs that I worked on, if you may remember it. With our backend, we have Ruby on Rails, GraphQL, and PostgreSQL. This will be our database. This will be our fetch post protocol using GraphQL. This will be our framework for our backend. It's pretty self-explanatory. Some relationships. A post has an origin user ID, and post can have images in the post. This app will be proof of concept. Production version should be able to host images itself, but for this we're going to just be very simple about it. A moderator has both a user ID and a group ID, and the group has an origin user ID. So if ID1 makes the group, and then ID2 happens to be a moderator of that group, then there'll be a separate moderator class that establishes that connection, that relation. That way, the application knows that if they are an administrator or a moderator, then they should be able to moderate content within that group. We also have post replies and comment replies. A post reply is a reply on a post. It has a post ID and a comment ID. A comment reply is where a comment, which is going to be its own separate class, is going to be a parent, and then comment 2 will be associated with comment reply. This way, you can have a Reddit-like style of being able to comment forever and ever on something as far as that goes. Finally, we have our user relationships. We have block. We have user one and user two. So user ID one will be the person who initiated the blocker, and user two will be the blockee, the person who is being blocked. For friends, you have user one sending a request and user two accepting the request. If the if it's recognized that user one and user two that user two has accepted the friend request, then there'll be a friends class up until user one or user two decides to delete that class, and then no longer will they be friends. How sad. Finally, we have messages. User one is the sender, user two will be the receiver, and then for message replies, user one will be the replier, and user two will be the first sender. As well, this will have an extra relation to it, which would be the message that you're replying to. Now, each message will have now each message reply will be its own separate class, whereas messages will not be, but message replies will we will I may not exactly have how I'm going to get this relationship to go, but I like a messaging system in place, um, and we will be able to worry about that a little bit later down the line. Sorry about the previous upload failure. I hope you can understand, and thank you very much for understanding.